Welcome to everybody watching the VOD. Let's send out some announcements. Yo, Jade System. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you as always. I'm glad it's good to be here. This is not optimal floofing time yet, because it's still wet. It's still gonna be a bit flat, but maybe the time will come soon. So I'm gonna look at the schedule at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So those of you coming in the future, if you're here just for that, you can fast forward about 27 minutes or so, and that's when I'll start looking at the schedule. For now, I'm just going to mess around a little bit with River City Ransom. Just do a little bit of gaming. Yeah, I'm sorry. But also hello. I hope the contents of this broadcast can lift your spirits at all. In any way. I'm really glad this is satisfying. Yeah, this is my favorite thing to just practice over and over and over and over. It's very rhythmic. And it's arguably the most important thing to practice. Because if you get really good warehouses, you're naturally going to be a little bit more nervous. And just getting runs past the warehouse can be very difficult in this game, especially if you want to get anything close to world record pace. And this is one of the most difficult sequences to do correctly. Why am I sorry? Riki is the one brutally getting destroyed by the box. Episode 46, Surprise, Serious-san. Surprise, Serious-san, you're the next GDQ host. What will you host? Let's look at options. It's a good afternoon. Thank you very... Thank you so much, Jeff. Really appreciate that. Hope it's good to see you too. I hope everybody's doing amazing. I certainly can't complain too much today. This has been a wild day for me. In a pretty positive way. In a very overwhelming way, I'll say. Yeah, it still hasn't quite sunk in yet. I will say, when I saw the NES block, that we're gonna, like, I don't want to spoil the schedule too much. There was a thing I saw on the schedule that immediately made me freak the F out and feel more deliriously excited than I felt in a long time. And, like, the one thing that I have a regret about today is that I was, like, incredibly spirited about it in chat in a way that was not, like, perfect. And so I'm just hoping I didn't step on any toes. But I don't really get excited like that about things very often anymore, so it's really cool. And we're gonna see why. There are many reasons that I was in a freaking daze for a while about an hour ago. Even more so than when I found out I was a host. This feels like a season-ender lead-in event. Yeah, it feels like a new season of my life is starting, kind of. Even if it's gonna be like a short... It's gonna be a very, very new experience for me. Yeah, because I don't mean, like, this is going to lead to a new career for me or anything like that, but this is just... I've been a Games Done Quick big fan for 12 years now. Last year I got to do my first GDQ run, and this year I get to be a host for the first time, so it's... very big things for me, personally. The last thing I want to do is approach this from any degree of entitlement or expectation. Because this, you never know. This may be the last time they see me being someone they want to have work with them. You never know. I can't come to expect anything. I can't see myself as like an asset based on... I don't know. It's tough to describe, especially when I'm beating the crap out of Blade, but all that to say, I would love to I would love to work with GDQ as much as possible. That's all I'll say. Yes, that said. There's a difference between feeling entitled and understanding your worth. Yes, and I always want to be careful about that line. I'll let him get away for a moment. Aha! I was early. And all, you know, social anxiety, I'm always afraid of everything. But I never know exactly what everybody is thinking in life. Oh, oh, interesting. I never know what everybody is thinking. I never know how my existence actually affects the world. And so I always just assume the worst. Which is a me problem. And something I try not to actually act on. It's always there, but I try not to let it, like, define me. Thank you. I try not to let it define me or my actions, but it's definitely always... It's one of the main centerpieces of my internal existence. Oops. Boop. Boop. It works. Much slower, though. Remember that if anyone or anything disturbs or upsets you, I am available to hit them with a Volkswagen behind a Kmart at 3 a.m. You will summon Kmarts from the ether just to be able to hit people with a Volkswagen behind the Kmart. You'll bring Kmarts back just to be able to take people around the back. Thank you. Man, that's dedication. That's friendship. Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment very much. Hopefully... I'm usually not the type of person to wish for such things, but... I'm also the type of person to greatly appreciate such sentiments, so... At least I'm not the type of person to outwardly wish for such things. Because if you really know me, you really know me. Volkswagen! How did I choke that? Thank you. The boxing. Boring backup. Boring backup. Come on. There we go. At least there's a swaggy backup. Except I missed the 3 punches. I did it again. One frame late every time. One frame early. It is an absolutely beautifully chaotic move. It's chaos and structure perfectly intertwined. You used to try doing stuff like that with tires. You don't think boxes ever occurred to you till you can do this with a tire, actually. There aren't really any nearby. There we go. The closest one I can think of is Ivan's room. But yeah, you can do it with the trash can. The trash sled. Well, there it goes. Wow. Somebody stuck? No, he just wasn't interested at all. Rats. Best pattern. But if they activate early like that, there's just nothing you can do. That's the only great pattern in the game where you're still, it's still luck based after it already spawns. Bye, pretty face guy. Great. We got time for at least one run before I move on to looking at the schedule for AGDQ 2026. Nice formation. Let's see if we can get past the warehouse here. Pink dog! Sidewalk time. Pink dog! I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is a reflection of that or if it is a coincidence. Just if they just happened to choose more PC games this time. I do wonder. Yep, nothing I could do. I did my absolute best there. I got River City ransomed. I do think that is part of it, yes. Nice formation. Sidewalk time. Nice fast beginning. He was coming. Pretty face guy, why? See, like, I'm already nervous. Like, when you get a decent warehouse, that's part of, like, I need to grind way more often for the nerves to not be this intense, just right at the very beginning already. Nice beginning. This is a successful run. Very likely to lose the chain in here. That was close. Great beginning here. Could lose the chain in here. Wow. Likely to lose it here. Very likely to lose it in here. Alright. Platforming. Haha. That's very rare. And that was just me being terrible. That was entirely my fault. Absolutely my fault. I was so early. And that's not my fault. That's just the game. I lost floating state, so I have to do a slower fight. And we're losing all of our good time. That's River City Ransom. Nice. Decent Mojo's room. Not the worst run. It was just the Turk split that was really bad. Or else this would be pretty spicy. Let's see if we can finish it. There's so much in the way. That's why you hold up there. I could die in any of these rooms immediately. I should have kicked, but I wanted to do the shakedown. Mob in here, that's... Despite my efforts to not hit somebody who could take away the shakedown from me, the game might just do it by itself anyway. And there's nothing I can do, just because the mob appeared. Nope. It let me have it! Still not saving any time, though, because I got freaking knocked down. River City Ransom. Uh-oh. Nice. Bad luck. Whoops. That's an extra round. We're losing a lot of time here. Not a good second half here. Terrible pattern. Nice spawn there. Whoa! I jumped too early there. Really? Nice backup. $6-2X. Thank you so much for the GLGL, Will, and for the congrats. Really appreciate it. Alright, Terrible Turk's room. Pretty bad second half in general. But we got some decent patterns in the gym and the top floor. Thank you for the GG, Will. Alright, 6-2Xs are always fun. Let's try and do a tire sled here. Perpetually late. Okay, tire sled. Of course, that was when there wasn't a tire. What is going on? I could easily die on the way back. Gotta first try this. Just like that. There's a tire sled. And, I have completely dazed Thor. Finally. I've impressed him enough that I can recruit him. Friendship wins. Who am I kidding? This is River City! Ah! And with that, let's have a different kind of fun. Thank you very much. Let's switch on over here. And maybe I should get some music going or something. Alright, everybody. It's here. The AGDQ 2026 schedule has been released. Yeah, let me look for some music here. Sure. All right, the pre-show on Sunday, January 4th at 11:30 a.m. It's coming right up. Which way am I facing here? I guess this is right. Opening run, Super Mario Sunshine, any percent, by Inkstar. That's always a very, very, very popular game for speedrunning. It should be a great opener. Good length, good history. Going right into Jet Set Radio. I actually don't know that much about Jet Set Radio. I will, out of curiosity, look up a few things in this stream. I think I have seen this before. Whoa, that's a lot of screen jerking. I'm a big sucker usually for cel-shaded 3D graphics with a heavy black cartoonish outline. This is the type of 3D game aesthetic that I would like to make. Yeah, so I'll probably be checking this one out. Oh, the Defying Gravity. That's so floaty. About rollerblading in the face of authority and spray painting all over the city. It's got a wild art style, wild soundtrack, and yeah. Yeah, I dig this. That is the second run of the event. After that, Bat to the Heavens. What is this one? Platformer, a Batformer, if you will. That's very cute. That's, oh my gosh. This looks like a somewhat lesser known indie game. And it gets to be the third run of the event. That's super cool. Okay, so you use the baseball bat to do platforming stuff, not just to like hit enemies and stuff. Are there even enemies? Why did I say the word enemies like that? Are there even enemies? Getting over it with Bat It Foddy. Okay, that shows very little. But it gives me the gist of what the game looks like, so now I get to look forward to it in the event. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, 14 Talisman. That's a shorter category. Very interesting. I'm a huge Spyro fan, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I can't say I'm a huge Spyro fan because I only played a little bit of one of the Game Boy Advance games, and of course I played all three of the PlayStation games. The ones, so I'm more of a casual Spyro fan, but I very much like Spyro. Shovel Knight. Solid. Shoutouts to Jake Kaufman. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. Ooh. 2025 Souls-like action role-playing game. Okay. That explains. That I can picture it now. And then a checkpoint. Splatoon. Octopath Traveler 2. By Anime Fan X11. Yeah, I think I pointed out that name with Octopath Traveler last time too, when I just looked at the games list. Split Fiction. Split Fiction, huh? Action adventure. Looks like it has a special gimmick. Co-op action adventure. Constantly shifting mechanics, perspective, and genres between a sci-fi and fantasy world. I kind of want to leave that. I don't want to watch a video of that right now. I want to be mystified during the event. That sounds very interesting. Luigi's Mansion! That would have been funny if we had gotten the Donkey Kong Bonanza song right when we got to... Spoilers! Donkey Kong Bonanza's in the marathon. Luigi House, but it mansion. Luigi House, but it mansion. You've infected me, Flair. Although I followed Simple Flips a lot in previous years. Once Upon a Katamari, that is a new edition. This is one of the recent releases, if I understand correctly. The newest Katamari game, generally seeing pretty good vibes about. Yep. So I'm excited to see that in there. That'll be toward the late night. We're getting into the middle of the night here. Dark War, ludicrous settings. That sounds cool. Nuclear Throne. And oh my gosh, there it is. So I kind of want to see if I can stay up for this one. And it also depends on, like... I think I'm going to get 2 hosting shifts, if I understand correctly. By the way, I have been accepted as a host for AGDQ2026. It's in the stream title, but I haven't officially, like, actually come out and said that up front in the stream yet. I didn't talk about the fact that I auditioned that much because, I just didn't know what to expect about the entire experience, and I didn't know how much I shouldn't be talking about with me being a first-time auditioner, and I didn't know how much, if anything, was under NDA yet. So there was just a lot of unknown, and I just didn't talk about it that much. Like I would mention it here and there, but yesterday I found out that I've been accepted. It was my first time attempting. I feel very fortunate and glad, and it's very surreal. It still hasn't sunk in yet. But I wonder if I'm gonna get chosen for 2 shifts. I am going to try to they give you the option to request some games. It's not a guarantee that you'll be put in a slot where you'll be able to actually host the game that you want, but they give you the option to request. And so some of the games, we'll get to some game slots and some specific games here that I'm going to be talking about under the, in the standpoint of, this might be one that I'm interested in, but I know up front that there were 2 specific. I have looked at this list already. There are 2 specific games and slots that I am interested in most of all. One of them I'm probably going to defer to another person, and the other one you'll know when you see it, because I will react to it accordingly. But all that said, Mega Man Battle Network, I'm a gigantic Mega Man fan in general. I liked the Battle Network games. We didn't actually get Mega Man Battle Network 6, but we got all the other games in the series. And I beat most of them. And so I'm really happy to see Mega Man Battle Network in. It's at a point in the night where I might be asleep. We'll see. I'm slightly surprised, and any comments that I make about the games list are 0% meant as complaints or disparagements of any decisions made by any of the parties who put all this together. The games committee is just an absolute collection of superhumans, so let's get that out of the way. But I am slightly surprised to see Subspace Emissary Any Percent in the middle of the night. It is almost a 20-year-old game, but I feel like I'm gonna get, like, I tried to find NES music at first, because I didn't want to get, like, DMCA'd. Like, this is game soundtrack music, so hopefully I'll be okay. But also, okay, I guess we'll try. You think single segments allows safety saves, game overs, and marathon settings, but removes so much of Mega Man Battle Network's RNG manip. Yeah. Yeah, I do really want to see this. If I can't catch it live, I'll definitely be going back to check this one out later, Mega Man Battle Network, and the Subspace Emissary Any Percent. I'm interested in both of these. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, that'll be great. Did I say Saga? Saga! It's supposed to kick off the morning, yeah. Croc 2, late morning. I'll probably be up to see that. That'll probably be playing soon after I get up, so that's great. Everyone knows the cool stuff happens late night at GDQ. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's up, Angry Scootsman? We've got one of our new games here, our recent releases, Pac-Man World 2 Repack. Is that a 3-way race? Nice. That should be great. Dragon Ball Z Budokai. And here's one that I'm interested in, Cavern of Dreams. This is one that I would definitely not be opposed. Like, this is one that if I just happen to fall into hosting this one, I'll be very happy. It's one of the games of the event that I went into the original games list saying, oh my gosh, this game got in, let's go. Yeah, Smash Brawl, Lego Star Wars, Croc 2, Pac-Man World 2 feels very much like a themed block of light, fun, colorful games. I agree. Yeah, that's a pleasant block. Also, I'm going to move my keyboard back to where it usually is. I didn't even realize that I had it in my playing configuration. That's more comfortable. Okay, there we go. So I don't have to, like, stretch my arm over this entire time. Jazz Punk. That's an interesting title. Very interesting art style. Adventure game. Adult Swim. Developed by Necrophone. Published by Adult Swim. A comedy adventure set in an alternate Cold War world with corporate espionage. I mixed up my vowels. Corporate espionage, inspired by spoof films and cartoons. Okay. Have I seen this before, actually? This might have been in one of the recent marathons, actually. A bit of a weird, eclectic adventure game. Zyzie. Yes, I have seen it before. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think I saw it in a marathon, not in Zyzie's stream. In any case, I think I have seen it before once. And Sonic Adventure in the afternoon. Excellent. And here's a big one. Okay, so this is a day 2 game. Pokemon Legends Z to A. That'll be a 2-hour run. This is one of the big new Nintendo releases. Mixed, you know, every Pokemon release these days is mixed for, you know, some very understandable reasons, some, you know, there is the trend, but, in any case, I'll be interested to at least see this. I'm curious what rank F. So you, I think in the game you start at rank Z and you go up to rank you go up to rank A. If I haven't, that shows you how much I've actually seen in the game. I'm kind of unsure. Because I had been wondering ever since the game's like announcement what Z to A meant. But yes, that is in now. Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Star-Crossed World. Only Star-Crossed World, any % restricted. By Mr. Shasta. Shasta is a mainstay. Runs tons of Kirby games. Welcome back. Did your internet poopy? I don't know why I said that. Alright, checkpoint for Monday. Crash Bandicoot 3. I haven't seen a Crash game in a while. And A Hat in Time. Always a delight to see this. Yeah, I feel like I saw Jazzpunk recently in one of the in a smaller event. I can't remember which, but it does ring a bell. Here's a bonus game. So people in the Discord were jokingly referring to this as a hat block. You got A Hat in Time going into Hatsune Miku. Fitness boxing featuring Hatsune Miku. This did stand out to me in the original games list. Definitely hope it gets in. Yeah, platformers do tend to be pretty good speed games, it's true. Kind of based on a tournament bracket style, so rank F is, don't want to say the lowest rank, but it's pretty early in. So you start at A and go to Z then. Then Mario Kart World. Has this made it into 3 straight events? I'm not totally sure. I know I've seen it in at least one other event's videos. Wait, no, it can't have been at AGDQ. So I think it was at SGDQ, and now this is the second event, which makes sense. Helix will be doing it. Nice. I do recall Helix. She said that this will be a very unique Mario Kart run, and I'm curious to see what she meant. Jack 3, very nice. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. So these are a lot of games that I kind of knew. Legacy of Kain, I think I know. $19.99 action-adventure video game. I think this might be another one I saw relatively recently. Or no, I'm thinking of a different game that Zazie played. Spin-off sequel with the blue Scarfy boy. Yes, it does have a blue Scarfy boy indeed. Loved Soul Reaver, but it felt slow. It'll be interesting to see it fast. Feels much more... Yes, like, it reminded me of That's exactly, I think, the game I was thinking of, yeah. Because the protagonist reminded me of that. Of the guy with the big glowing eyes and the hood. And everybody in the game sounded like this. Path of Exile 2. I've heard of this game a lot. Ah. Action role-playing game, okay. Very cool. It's cool to see games like that in there. Sorry, just a moment. Got to respond about dinner here. Here we go. Yeah, Path of Exile 2, cool. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Flair wonders if it'll have the motion controls in or if it'll do Pro Controller. Good question. We will find out. Small Saga. Yeah, so we've hit upon a few games that I'm interested in so far. All of these will be really cool. But just wait. Right, Small Saga, okay. Wow, that's awesome. For the game, for the game! Oh, that's really pretty. Yeah, those are great animations already. Ha! Mice fight epic RPG battles while unfitting music plays. Yes, this looks like a game that I would see on your stream for sure. Yeah, this looks great, doesn't it? I'm definitely going to be. When is this happening? I'm gonna be really looking forward to this. 6:24 a.m. I might be up by then. We'll see. And it'll be going for 2 hours. I'll probably wake up when this is reaching the end. So I'll probably get to see some of it, at least from my room. Yeah, I'm really, really glad that that's in. That's exactly the type of game that I want to find and learn, so I could submit all sorts of games like that to GDQs, because I'm really happy to see them get in general. Mushroom Men: The Spore Wars. DS and Wii. This is a loud tune, by the way. I think. Not seeing many images, like, it's... Just seeing big angry mushroom man. Big glowing-eyed rabbit. Very, very dark landscapes. Looks pretty cool. But Dark Teryx as well. I see Dark Teryx around a lot. So glad that Dark Teryx got in. Seum! Speedrunners from Hell. Can't imagine that being in an AGDQ. Let's take a look at that. Huh. 2016? I haven't heard of this. Yeah, okay, so the title, like the big promotional poster is styled very much like Doom. Okay. Okay, I dig it. Overwhelmingly positive. Quake 3 speed map as F, yeah. A classic of Xbox Live Arcade. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Lilat Wars. As I found out last games list, or last time we looked at the games list, this is just the European version of Star Fox 64. Awesome, happy to see it. Single life score attack. Again, that'll be as I'm getting going in the day, so we'll see how much I check it out. Although, I mean, any of these, again, like, anytime I talk about my plans, any of that could be changed by me just being chosen to host any of these blocks. We haven't gotten to any specific blocks that I'm going to think about requesting yet. But we've already seen so many cool games. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. This is one that Flair also mentioned. Pipis. Pipis. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Ooh! Immediately liking the art style and the promotional stuff. Whoa, okay, and I wasn't expecting that. That's amazing. Okay. This looks so good. Holy cow. Like, yes, one of the first things you may notice if you're keen to compare games to a certain styling, Link's Awakening would come to mind, with a lot of visual polish, a lot of movement polish, a lot of extra stuff. Oh my gosh, this looks so freaking good. Yeah, I'm gonna want to check this out. Well done, Pocket Trap. Holy moly. Yeah. Yeah, that's... I might have to... I closed out of it, but I might actually want to wishlist that. I don't wishlist things very often because I don't play video games other than, like, what I speedrun all the time very often. Teal, welcome! Going through the AGDQ 2026 games list that just released a couple hours ago. And, now we're doing it, under the confirmation that, now I can peruse this list and think about some of the games that I can request hosting. Because I have been selected as a host for AGDQ 2026. It's my first time ever. Still hasn't sunk in yet. Yeah, that looks amazing. There's a daily recap. Borderlands 2. Nice. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Classic. Nice. And then... So this is all part of what I think we're calling like a big science block. Yeah, like a big science fiction into horror block. So, Borderlands 2, Star Wars Battlefront, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Heck yes. I think everybody's excited for this one. Stop the Rock! Yes, let's go. Big highlight. Cursed Halo is going to be interesting. Yeah, that's coming right after. Don't know if you'd call Metal Gear Solid sci-fi. Yes, they were talking about this being like a big science block earlier, so I want to believe. I want to believe. But yes, Metal Gear Solid. Stealth games. Snake Eater. Snake Eater bonus category. Is that Delta? Is that the Delta symbol? Am I far too removed from physics classes, AP Physics, to be... No, yeah, no. That's Delta. Okay, thank you. Okay. And that shows you how much I know about this game as well. The recent Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Nice. Psychonauts 2. Woo. And then a new release, Silent Hill F. Yes, I did see this one making the rounds. Very cool. And the Resident Evil 2 remake. Leon versus Claire category choice. That should be a good incentive. Silent Hill F's in the chat, exactly. Amnesia, Fear 2, Project Origin, and then we shift. I'm not sure if Kiosk is a horror game. It's a horror cooking game where you prepare orders for late-night customers who visit your cozy, rain-soaked kiosk. That is perfect for this time slot for 3:21 a.m. Okay. Ah, wow. Okay. Seeing a few screenshots now. And immediately I see a screenshot for something that is very much not kiosk game. Kiosk simulator. This is not the one. But I just want to see this image. I don't really want to see this image, I just wanted to show it. Yes, that's all you need to see. Apologies to those with, I forget the word for the phobia of clowns. Which a lot of people have a little bit, I think. At least to some degree. There's a spectrum of that fear. And most people are on it. Knife-only Resident Evil runs are always a mix of very tense and very boring in that it's a lot of poke, poke, stab, stab with the added thrill of you could immediately die any second if you mistime anything. You did some knife-only non-speedruns in your youth. Yes, I used to do some of that as well, with cheats. Because I noticed how fast you can freaking die, and I just wanted to swing a knife and have fun, and so I ended up using the infinite health cheat. And just woo! Yeah, Kiosk looks cool. Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. Is that the remake? Survival game. Yeah, so this is a lengthy, like, kind of horror set. Interesting. You've heard that the Bloons run should be very hype. Yep, that's where we were going to next. Bloons Tower Defense 6. Nice. Okay, that is what I was thinking of. Who's doing this one? One-Eyed Deacon. There's the luckiest guy font. That's what I use for all my thumbnails on YouTube and stuff. It's a very clear, bold font. But they're not capitalizing every or wait, maybe they are. The letters look subtly different, but noticeably different if you use lowercase versus the capital versions of the letters in that font. But yes, I like that font. Yeah, this should be a good speed run. And yes, here's one that I'm looking forward to, and then I might tentatively request Animal Crossing City Folk, because Blue Candy's doing it with Drewpag. Blue Candy, a streamer that I have followed for years, and I've seen this run. I actually, Blue Candy tried to do a City Folk run and got on a pretty good pace in the practice room at AGDQ 2024. And some of the bugs that you have to get are very audio-based, and you have to listen and hear a very specific sound. And so for like 10 minutes, I was just like, both of us were huddled in front of the TV speakers, trying to see if we could hear this frickin' thing. And so I have fun memories about this game, and I'm glad it got in. 7:23 a.m. I will definitely catch some of that naturally if I'm not already hosting. Yeah, it's an awesome race. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. Then we got Mighty Gunvolt, a Inafune post Capcom Inafune series type thing. It's a crossover between Mighty Number 9 and is it Azure Striker Gunvolt? I have one of the Gunvolt games. I wasn't really able to really get into them because they were so freaking anime in a way that I was kind of tired of at that point. But Mighty Gunvolt is a delightful little game. I'm happy that got in. And it's going to be as Gunvolt this time. I've seen Beck. I've seen the Beck version of the gameplay, so I'm curious to see that. And now we've got Contra! Mr. Cabin Conster. Super happy about this. To be honest, I wouldn't mind doing a hosting block of like Animal Crossing to Contra, or maybe with Sonic Rush in there. This would be a pretty good block for me. I would be super happy about all these games. Yeah, the Gunvolt games are maximum anime. Yeah. Like hyper shonen. I respect it, but at the time I was noticing my fatigue of maximum shonen, so I couldn't really get into it. Yeah, Contra is going to be amazing. Let me see if I can find a Mr. Cab video of Contra Operation Galuga! On Twitch? Recent broadcasts? Contra! You gonna give me an ad? Or you're just gonna be broken. The player's just not gonna work at all. And it was muted, but it still played audio anyway because Twitch is perfect. This gigantic monopolistic corporation barely works. But Twitch, thank you for allowing me onto your service. You're not perfect, but you're definitely still the main thing that all of us use. The way forward reboot of Contra 1. Yep. I'm having to sit through several ads, but I want to show off some of Mr. Cab and Conster's gameplay from recently. Just so you can see what this looks like. And hope you're all enjoying so far. Thank you all for being here. Here we go. They still got the immediate, I'm glad they have the, frame instant, changes of aiming directions. Yeah, this will be a good time. Looks snappy, looks nice. Very colorful. It looks slightly more difficult to tell what's going on when, compared to the NES. With the super the super crisp graphics, like that had to be like out of necessity, like only so many colors, and it looks like for someone like me, it'd be easier for me to like lose track of where things are and where I am, but that makes it all the more impressive to me that it's being played at this level. Whoa! Nice that he didn't die there. So looking forward to that. A grappling hook would have really helped. Then Sonic Rush. Kirby Master. Yeah, so this would be a pretty good block for me. Animal Crossing to Sonic Rush. That's the first, like, solid block of several games in a row that I'd be like, yeah. But it's just still, like, this is, like, tentatively, like, yeah, I might include this in my requests. So there's a lot to come. We've already had so many great games. Oh, Shovel Knight! Anyway, American Truck Simulator. That sounds like fun. Daily recap. Richard Burton. Yeah, so we got a couple of, like, vehicle games. Yeah, we got a vehicle block here. American Truck Simulator. Richard Burns Rally. Rally Season. Armored Core. Some of the coolest frickin' vehicles. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Let's go. Oh, it's the arena! Yes! Heck yes. F-Zero GX. Heck yes. These are all gonna be great. And then, speaking of great, Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver. One of the least controversial Pokemon games out there that people talk about. Most people agree that this is one of the highlights of the series, but yada yada yada. I liked it a lot. So, happy that it's in. The checkpoint. Joker Shell OK. I definitely have to look this one up. Oh, Shovda. Okay, right. So I believe, yeah, this is a Super Mario World hack. This is one of Shovda's games. So this will be a very difficult, I'm sure, Super Mario World hack. But yeah, arena time! Moderately recent, so moderately WTF. Yes. Imagine if they got, yeah, if they had gotten Dram World 3 in, that would have been even more WTF. But I don't think I've seen that one. Another bonus game, Mario Kart 64. This would be great. Donkey Kong 64, this will also be great. Randomizer, Season 4. Looking forward to that for sure. Adventures of Yogi Bear. Run by... Sorry about that, babe. Cool. Got a bit of an IP block here. Oh yeah, and that's leading into the awful block. Let's freaking go. An IP block leading into the awful block. Adventures of Yogi Bear. Disney's 102 Dalmatians. Puppies to the rescue. Neither of these games are in the awful block, so they must be great. No! They must be great! And then we go into The Land Before Time, Return to the Great Valley. I'm not going to peek into any of these games because for me, and for a lot of people, part of the charm and entertainment of seeing the awful block every single time is knowing nothing about all the games and when you go into them and just like having everything revealed to you in real time, like a gigantic magical experience. You know, one of the devs of Disney's 102 Dalmatians, not a bad game. Nice. Congrats to that dev for being cool and doing games and stuff. Being cool and doing games and stuff, which I think is cool. Like the implication of all levels out of balance because it feels like you're going to be teleporting through worlds in puppy mode. Yes! Yeah, Land Before Time. Dizzy Hero. I'll invalidate your aid. Which, again, I appreciate that title. I'm delighted by the wordplay that doesn't exist. 12 Bananas! The video game simply known as Egg. Super Buff HD. Kaiketsu Zorori Mazaze. Itazura King. Yes. Skull Island, Rise of Kong. This is a very, very long awful block. I think they all are usually this long. It's just I go to bed before I actually see them through to the end. Skull Island, Rise of Kong. Bug Blasters, The Exterminators. Rock and Roll Adventures, The Running Man. Garbage Pail Kids! This is in the awful block? This game didn't look that bad when I saw it, actually. So this is, I believe, an NES homebrew. Yeah, we looked it up last time, and I can't remember if it was if confirmed a homebrew or not. Yeah, an NES game, just barely removed from the NES block, which we are almost at. You know, Egg is an experience. Welcome, and also nice. I can't wait for that experience. That's a cow. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Interesting. An N64 game? Okay. It's a packed block, yeah. So as always, so looking forward to Awful Block. And it's leading straight into... Dun 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 dun! The NES block! Let's go! So, initially, this was the block that I looked at when I first saw the schedule, that I was like, this is the one that I'm going for. This is the one that I'm going to request more than anything. We've got Animal Crossing New Leaf music, by the way. Good timing. Oh, and that's what this is from. Like, I mostly heard that in ProZD videos. Okay. Anyway. NES block. So this is the one I was going to request more than anything. We got Splatterhouse, One Paku Graffiti, Retro Runner, Wizards and Warriors, PGH Guitar Guy. Let's go. Monster in My Pocket. This was like the big one. This was the big one. The one that I really, really wanted to experience with Starwind and Gygus Blues and possibly Buffalo Boone. Usually one of the most entertaining combinations in any GDQ every single time. I wanted to know what it would be like to experience being a host for them. And then Deja Vu NES. That's the NES block. I was going to immediately rush and request this, but then I realized that this is one of the games that a friend from the Pittsburgh area is into and has run, and she really wants this game. She really wants to be able to request this game, and so I was immediately hands off. This is yours. So I probably will not get this block, and that's fine because I really want to see her get it. That would be amazing. Batman Beyond is genuinely that bad. Yeah, Wizards and I do remember you saying that, and I have finally seen a bit of this game recently because I tend to idly watch Arcus streams here and there, have it on in the background, and he's been playing that game recently, so I finally know what that game's all about. And 13 minutes, PGH Guitar Guy is obviously going to destroy this game. It's going to be amazing. Got some Pokemon music now. But yeah, NES block. I'm going to be there. Whether or not I'm a host, I'm going to be there in the crowd for sure. Because the NES block is not happening dead in the middle of the night this time, because they chose to put it after the awful block. Woohoo! So the NES folks get to thrive in a bit more of the daylight this time. Very cool. Then we've got one of the Zelda games, a big hitter, Twilight Princess HD. What I think the longest run of the event, as I pointed out last time, at least at the time before the new games came in. Gymnast 86, always going to be good time. A mystery game. A lot of people have pointed this out. We'll see. For now, it is a mystery. Hour and a half. And then another Super Mario World hack. Author Blues, that'll be great. You actually watch Auth literally reverse Super Mario World, but by that we mean the levels start at the ending and end at the start, and that leads to some real interesting level dynamic changes. Yeah, I'm super interested in this. Can't wait. Followed by bonus 11 exit, one-handed by Shovda. That'll be incredible. Checkpoint Super Metroid with Ryan Ford. Congratulations. You've got a huge game, a huge hitter. Congrats to Ryan Ford. once again. My DX Prism Plus Arcade Showcase. Ooh, this is tough to actually find information about. I like that. I like that it got in. Arcade game. Rhythm game? It'll be impressive, I know that much. How are they doing my DX on main stage? Oh, here we frickin' go! Let's go! We've got my favorite frickin' tune from Mega Man 6. Yes! Anyway. Let's go, Yuko! But yeah, we will all find out together how my is gonna get in here. This is one of those games where you play it on a cabinet and it looks like a washing machine and you get assaulted by 1,000 billion notes. Yep. That'll work out just fine. Let's take a break for a moment. Anyway. And then, this is a game that's going to be talked about a lot today and for the next God knows how long, because now the Game Awards are happening or whatever. Clair Obscur, E33. Hopefully that's how you actually pronounce it again, I'm not sure. Expedition 33. Any percent expert glitchless race. That'll be hotly anticipated. And I'm curious to see what it's all about. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'm sure that'll be incredibly impressive. Redout 2. Ooh, colorful. Racing game. The fastest racing game in the universe. It's an F-Zero. Have you tried this one? Spiritual successor to Burnout, which is a spiritual successor to F-Zero. You have not yet, okay. It's an air ride machine. Into a black hole, okay. So this is a cinematic. Let's see some gameplay. Ooh. Incredibly good pedigree, and it's that kind of game. Yeah, this looks awesome. Very nice. That'll be very pleasant. I might be asleep for it. Mind Wave! Oh! Action game. Minigame collection. Inspired by WarioWare. What? Initial release date, September 2027. Yep. Incredible style. Oh my god! With stylistic changes. Yeah. This is very confident in a very good way. Wow. So I guess it's gonna be the demo. Speedrun showcase, 22 minutes. I wonder how this is gonna work. Cool. Looks amazing. You have Redout Enhanced and Redout 2 thanks to Epic's giveaways. Maybe you should stick to those in the 2 playlist and give them a shot on stream. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Stellar Blade. Interesting that that one is in the middle of the night as well. I guess it's not a brand new game, but it is one that had a ton of popularity this year. But yeah, Stellar Blade should be very good. Final Fantasy X, let's go. True RNG cutscene remover. Rats. Sly 2, excellent. I should be awake for that one. And then Minute. Very nice. By Shovel Claws, who is also a host. So Shovel Claws got in as a runner and a host. Very big congrats to it. It playing Minute. Jet Runner. Parkour, first-person shooter. Okay. Yep, that should be good. Well, I might as well show it off. Ouch! Cinematic, which looks amazing, but I'm gonna get to the gameplay. Apologies to the cinematic makers. Fitting music, which is not a part of the trailer. It's like very fitting music, rhythmically perfect too. Yep, looks cool. Nice. Similar but very distinct feel to SRFH. I'm trying to think of what that is. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Speedrunners. Oh, Speedrunners from Hell. Yeah, you're right. I agree. It'll be always... I have not seen this game yet, I don't think, so that'll be great to see. Game to be... Another mystery game for 45 minutes. Okay. Kaizo. Another Super Mario... Oh, wait. Super Mario Brothers 2. Super Mario Brothers 2 Kaizo. Okay. I think I remember saying this last time as well. Is this, like, the Western SMB2 or the original Lost Levels Japanese SMB2? Because I'd be very interested in seeing a Kaizo version of the Western... of the, Doki Doki Panic. Subcon applies, American, okay. And it could be an American hack of the... Subcon is Doki Doki Literature Club. So they're bridging Doki Doki Panic and Doki Doki Literature Club, okay. So yeah, I'll be interested in that. You're making a doke. Why do I trust people so much? It's the world of Doki Doki Panic, okay. Yeah. Anyway, Demon Souls. Another, yeah, we got a little Souls block here. Demon Souls into Dark Souls. And then Super Mario Souls. Galaxy, any percent Luigi. Another good Mario run. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time versus Majora's Mask. Any percent blindfolded versus any percent blindfolded. First cycle skip. Yeah, Bubsy stuff. I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. Luigi Souls, Butted Galaxy. Bonus game, Donkey Kong Bonanza's gonna get in. It's gonna be awesome. Chrono Trigger! Magus percent, RNG manip. Yes, baby. Sword of the Sea. Surfing across magnificent waves of sand and glistening waters on an epic quest to restore a lost ocean. Yes, hopefully anti-Bubsy doesn't show up. Yes, he's got to do it fast. Every frickin' time. This reminds me a bit of a game you played recently, Zyzy. With like the intentionally jerky animations with the frame rate. That amazing... Sable, yes, thank you. God, Sable was amazing. Kind of vague. I don't know exactly what to expect from the objectives and stuff. I want to kickflip a sword into the ocean. And in the game. Yes, me too. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Lonely's gonna be amazing with that. Castlevania speedruns are always so good to watch. Momodora! When is 2:23 a.m.? So yeah, if I'm not up for that, I'm definitely gonna want to check it out. Retroactively. We're getting into Saturday now. We're getting to the last day of the event. And yeah, we've come across one block of games so far that I was like, oh my gosh, yes. We've come across one block that was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Another block that was like, if it weren't for another person who wants it even more, this would be the one. And now we're heading into the final day. Exector. Not a Pokemon. Again, somewhat difficult to actually... not a lot of immediate... Oh! A mech game! It looks like... Yeah. The first original game developed by Arc System Works? And the first to have Guilty Gear creator Daisuke Ishiwatari credited on it. 1995. That's interesting trivia. I still don't know exactly what the game looks like, but I know that now. I guess it kind of looks like that. Which looks awesome. Oh, Zyzy's got something. I trust you. It's like half top down, half not. Half regular 3D. At least in this scene. Yo, this looks like stiff. That doesn't mean it looks bad. It just looks very rigid. It looks like it takes you a long time. Like once you make a decision, you have to act on it immediately, or else you're not going to actually be able to proact and react. Like you can't react in this game really. You just have to cover it. Oh, bah, wah. Ha. Okay, interesting. You've seen Zazie played Armored Core 1. That's speedy and brisk for PlayStation mecha games. It's like a top-down maze shooter. It kind of looks like it. Okay. PMC Trilogy, that's a PMC Trilogy game. 20-minute estimate, any percent hard. Wow. So now we're heading into another block I'm very interested in. So stiff you can iron your pants on it. Yep. Here we go. Into the dead middle of the night on the final day, the beginning of the final day. Here we got Darius Gaiden, L-Rock 617, the L-Rock 617 with a 1cc attempt of Darius Gaiden. So, I wonder if my group is going to want to be up to see this. Because L-Rock is a major homie. And also because we're going to need to be up anyway. Because after Flare and Nui Nui Quest, which I'm going to take a look at. Because I don't want to just ignore it. Ooh, this looks cute. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Magical Girl Mega Man, it looks like. Looks very clean. Yeah. That's cool. Yep, very nice. So, and after that game, feel the VTuber leaking out of every pixel. Mega Mario, yeah, Mega Mario's freaking awesome, and the RKS games. I haven't seen as much of Mega Mario as I have the Rosenkreuz, the RK games. These games. Is this it? Mega action platformer. Yeah. Just want to make sure. This and especially the sequel. Because you can freaking swim in the sequel. So obviously that's the one that I prefer. But I haven't played either of these yet. I've seen lots of speedruns of the sequel. But this is another, like, Magical Girl Mega Man. You tried playing those and the game over screens dunked on you from orbit? Love it, A+. Yeah, I might have to play these in the future. But anyway, that's not in. But Flare Nui Nui Quest is, and after that, I'm gonna be on the couch at 5:30 a.m. for Mad Mega. For James Bond 007 The Duel. We gotta show that off a little bit. And we gotta sit through some ads, which it said it was muted, but it once again played through the mutedness again because everything's perfect. Still got several. Just taking a quick break here. The ad is forcing me to take a quick break, which is fine. What does Seria's when you can swim in a game? What does? Oh my goodness! Speaking of perfect music coming up in perfect timing, here we freaking go. The radio happened to come up with the James Bond theme. As I show off Mad Mega playing the game that he's going to be on stage with. James Bond 007 The Duel. for the Mega Drive. What was the category he's doing here? Just any percent normal. So here he's doing top score attempts in the normal mode, which is, I think, slightly different from what he's just going to be doing at the event. But he seemed quite consistent in this last session. Can't freaking wait for this. It's going to be on the early morning of the final day. So that's one reason to have something to look forward to for the entire event. I wonder if it's going to be, like, difficult for Mega. Throughout the whole week, he's going to be doing nest block and everything and hanging out, but he's going to have this looming for the entire week. Hopefully it's not going to feel like that for him. Hopefully it'll just be exciting, and he'll have something to look forward to. But I'll be on the couch for that. You thought it was the Game Boy 007. Mega Drive! Speaking of games stiff enough to iron your pants on, it kind of looks that way, yeah. Mika and the Witch's Mountain, that sounds cool. Heading into the later morning. Oh, that looks adorable. Wait. Have I seen this one in development? Adorable animation. Oh my gosh, this game is out! I've been watching this game since early development. Oh my gosh. And it's in a GDQ. Frickin' congrats to these developers. As unfitting music plays. So this kind of looks like what's the Ghibli movie? Kiki's Delivery Service, the game. I think that's what they were thinking when they made it. But I could be wrong. I don't want to put words in their mouth. I think that's what I saw them saying throughout the development. But yeah, mega congrats to them getting this in. Right after Mega's run, yeah, I'm gonna want to check that out. Spider-Man PS1. Ratchet Deadlocked. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Those will all be great. Two new releases in a row. The first time I looked at this list, I missed this. And I need to stress to all of you that hell has frozen over. It snows in hell. I've forgotten the other idioms that express the same sentiment. It's raining cats and dogs, you know, yada yada yada. Chess Jerk has been trying for more than a decade to get the original Final Fantasy Tactics into a GDQ. It did not seem remotely possible. But yeah, and yes, this is the remake. But dreams do come true. This, to me, is the biggest surprise and the biggest mind blow. So, once I relinquished the other, like the NES block to my friend, who was also hosting, who has even more of a stake in it than me, and then I realized that this was there, this is going to be the game that I'm requesting to host. It would mean so much. If I don't get it, then I can probably be a commentator, but this would be an unbelievable freaking honor to host. I actually do not know much of anything about it yet. and we'll actually, let's learn about it. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Yellsrake's channel. They got this submission in the literal final hour. because they're both so busy.
Hi, my name is Chester, and this is a submission of Final Fantasy X.
That's so quiet.
For AGDQ2026. This is an any % submission on the Squire difficulty with a time estimate of 2 hours and 10 minutes. Final Fantasy Tactics was released in 1997 and was one of the first tactical RPGs of its kind. It is a deviation from other Final Fantasy titles that had been released, as FFT is more akin to a game of chess than your typical turn-based RPG. Other versions of FFT have been released over the years, and this version is the most recent remaster released on September 30th, 2025. The remaster retains
Look at the glow
many
up.
of the characteristics of the original game as far as battle composition and damage formulas. It does take some ideas from the War of the Lions version released for the PSP in 2007 for things such as requirements for unlocking new jobs. Also, many quality of life enhancements have been included, such as the ability to see where units are being placed in the battlefield, changing setups during the pre-battle formation, and even the ability to leave a battle series if you get stuck. Those of you who got stuck on an infamous battle sequence in Chapter 3 in previous versions of the game know how valuable this can be. My history with FFT dates all the way back to 2006. FFT was the first game I ever speedran. A question had been posed in online forums at the time about how fast FFT could be completed without using any cheating devices, and I, who had been involved in various FFT challenge playthroughs throughout the early 2000s, but never involved in speedrunning, decided to dive headfirst into this new project, thus launching my entire speedrunning career that has gone strong for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
There are two main categories.
That's part of all of this, is that Chester did a 2.5 hour long interview with GTA, a prominent speedrunner in general, especially in Super Mario Brothers 1. Really quick. And like it came up, like a truth that I don't often think about came up in the interview early on. It's like, you don't see many people from those early speedrunning days still kicking, still around in the scene. And if they are, they're usually not to the degree and to the intensity that Chest Jerk is. He's an OG who's like been relevant in like every era of speedrunning and been active for most of the time. Like the only time that he wasn't really grinding stuff was after he had, I think, his first after he had his first child, then after he had his second child. And once they got old enough, he was able to kind of dip back in. And then once he got back into Arkanoid and yada yada, but he's a perennial dude in this worldwide community who has done so many things, and he's been trying to get FFT into GDQ the entire time, basically, ever since GDQ has been a thing.
Whereas when speedrunning FFT, any percent and no math percent. Math skill, or arithmetics as it is now known, allows you to choose a parameter, a value, and a spell, and every unit with the applicable values is hit by that spell instantly with no charge time and no MP cost. For instance, choosing level 3 Holy instantly hits every unit on the battlefield with Holy as long as their level is divisible by 3. Players instantly saw the utility of this job and is considered one of the strongest job sets in the game. It is slightly nerfed by the fact that the class Calculator, or Arithmetician as it is now known, has terrible stats, but since you can assign arithmetics to another class, this shortcoming can be easily overcome. The no math category uses strategies besides arithmetics, such as summon magic and powerful physical attackers, such as ninja.
There's math and no math.
The original version had two major glitches that were utilized for speedrunning. The JP scroll glitch, which allows the player to instantly master certain job classes provided the skill list was longer than one page, and the item duplication glitch, which allows the player to trick the shops in various towns to sell you items that cannot normally be purchased by using the best fit option to confuse the game. However, neither of these glitches are present in the remaster, so some strategies have been modified from the original version. The remaster also adds difficulty levels. This run is performed on the Squire difficulty level, which is the easiest of the 3 difficulty levels. The others are Knight and Tactician. The game incorporates these difficulty levels by assigning damage bonuses and penalties to your allies and the enemies, depending on the difficulty. On Squire, your units take significantly less damage, and the enemy takes more damage. Tactician reverses these bonuses and penalties, while Knight leaves the damage without modification. In addition, Tactician difficulty gives a further damage penalty to spells cast using arithmetics, reducing damage by 50% on top of the previously mentioned damage penalty. The FFT community is currently in the process of devising best strategies for each difficulty mode and each category, as well as searching for new glitches, such as the recently discovered AI glitch, which can transfer AI unit behavior to enemies to possibly finish battles faster.
Huh.
Chapter 4 in particular is much more difficult than the original game in all difficulties. Enemies in Chapter 4 have increased health, with Zodiac bosses receiving the largest health bonuses. This includes the final boss, who has approximately 3 times as much health as it does in the original.
Wow.
There are 2 quality of life additions that serve
Yes,
as
these are 2
saves
big
of the
ones.
version. The first is the ability to skip most cutscenes.
Skip
The best times in
cutscenes.
the math skill category on the original version are approximately 4 hours. I manually timed the length of these cutscenes in that version, and they add up to almost 1 full hour of unskippable text.
There's 1
The
hour.
cutscenes that cannot be skipped are those that involve player choices that can change dialogue or the story in some way. I'm sorry, Aerith, we still have to refuse your flower.
Ah!
The second biggest time save is the ability to fast forward actions in battle.
Fast
When
forward
using
through
arithmetic
fights.
to cast spells such as Holy that have a very long animation. This speeds up battle dramatically. Fast forward also speeds up the early grinding to open up everything you need at the beginning of the game.
That saves another hour.
All in all, this enhanced remaster of an old classic would make an excellent addition to the GDQ schedule, since FFT has never been featured at a GDQ to this point. The remainder of this video is my personal best at the time of this video, but since the FFT community is actively looking for better strats, you can expect faster times in the coming months. Thanks to the AGDQ Games Committee for your consideration.
This was the one I wanted most to get in. The one I didn't dare hope for. Nobody dared hope for, because it did not seem possible. But the day has come. The day has come! The final day! Late morning on Saturday at AGDQ 2026. This is the run I'm going to be requesting most of all to host. Let's freaking go. Congratulations, Chest Jerk. It happened. Then, the big closing stretch. All of the biggest hitting runs right after Final Fantasy Tactics. So, most of the attention of everybody on the final day is going to be after Final Fantasy Tactics. Super Mario 64. 70-star, 70-person relay. Still nobody knows exactly how. King Joe is still organizing everything. We'll see. It's gonna be a heck of a time. Wind Waker. Any percent arbitrary code execution. That will be wild. I realize what I'm taking on by requesting this spot. I think, yeah. If I were to get this slot, I imagine they would put me like kind of like, yeah, I would be getting up probably around 4 a.m. I would be doing this, and probably they'd probably put me on the, like, not starting on this block. They'd probably put me starting here if I were to be able to get this slot. They'd probably start me earlier rather than have me go through the daily recap and then have me start here. And then, yes, I would be building up hype for the rest of the final day of the marathon. I do realize that, yes. And part of that is the reason why I don't expect to be able to really get any of the especially this block. I'm not expecting anything. I'm making requests, but I would be very, 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 very pleasantly, very, 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 very surprised to actually get this as a first-time host. But I'm not entitled to anything. Nobody is. These are just requests, just wishful thinking. And I would be very excited to take on that challenge. I would be very, very, very excited to. I would be very, very nervous, but I'd be very excited and engaged. And that's the type of challenge that I would like to try. especially side by side with one of my closest friends in the community. It'd be incredible. But yeah, it would also be like, that would be the day that I'm probably getting up the earliest, unless I've already gotten up for a very early hosting shift earlier in the week. So there's that element as well. But I mean, I'd probably be running on so much adrenaline. But this is all very, very much an if. But yeah, here we go. The rest of the day. Elden Ring, Night Rain. Trio defeat Night Lord. Nice. That should be fun. Hades 2. Very cool. Wow, that's the start of, like, prime time. Congrats. Congrats to Hades. And then a bonus game that we'll get in. This was also a new release slot. Here it is. Silk Song. That's going to be amazing, and it's going to get in. I sure freaking hope these bonus games get in. Event recap. And then, like, if I somehow were chosen for the final run, although I'd say there's a 0.0000000 run, 1% chance that would happen. And this isn't going to be one of the things I'm explicitly requesting, although, like, I'll say that I'd be open to it. Pokemon Emerald, pick my main. This is going to raise so much money. And ADEF is amazing. Really, really, really good personality. Really funny. Really warm. This already was run at GDQX. Let me bring some of that up, now that I'm thinking of it. Google did not serve me well there, so let's go to YouTube. Thank you, search engines, for being the way you are now.
What's up, everybody? I am ADEF, and this is Pokemon.
That was so loud. I'm very sorry.
This is going to be a remarkably cursed,
I'm so sorry.
arguably bad speedrun. It's not going to happen. You want to see, but not bad. Let's go ahead and sleep powder. We hit.
Okay, so one of the big things... What's up, everybody? I am ADEF, and now you are ADEF. I'm tempted to mod you for that. I'm tempted to... Oh, wait. He's ADEF? We're all ADEF. I'm sorry, Zazie. I missed yours. That's a dang it say. Yeah, Zazie's already a mod because she made an amazing joke like that years ago. I'm tempted to mod the swords for that as well.
Once. Probably the least, you know.
I'm trying to find Watson here because Watson was one of the main... So they chose Magikarp for Gym 3.
Please use Shockwave. Just use Shockwave, dude. Just use Shockwave.
So the donors decided to make him use a Magikarp to defeat Watson, the electric leader.
Alright, okay, well, we're going at 40. This should take. Okay, Electrike should also...
If you're wondering how in God's name, and also he's level capped. He's only allowed to raise his Pokemon's level to the level that the gym leader's ace is at for that part of the game. If you're wondering how the heck, this is how. Safety Blast. So this is a ROM hack that was made by @sign, a very prominent maker of many ROM hacks like this for Gen 3 games. And he put in a game called a move called Safety Blast, which is all types basically. It's a stab for every single Pokemon. And it's a 100% accurate, I think, 80 power move. So it's just a ridiculously good move that helps in situations like this.
I live that. Yeah. Okay, he heals as a super. And then this is...
There's a challenge in Pokemon Legends Arceus to have a Magikarp survive a Voltorb explosion. Very tough, yeah.
There's a world where I heal here, but I think I'm just gonna rip it.
Just rip it.
Okay. Wants to slow me down. There's the citrus. I'm gonna go. You might.
Oh! 2 HP!
Okay. Heard that. Thanks so much. Okay, so the reason it went for Thunder Wave is it wants to slow me down. Okay, it is selecting random move.
Boom!
Not
He tried to throw it! He tried to throw that fight, but he got through it anyway. So yeah, the donors pick which Pokemon he uses every single gym leader segment, and then once they got to the Elite Four, I think every single Pokemon, every single Elite Four fight, they chose a new one. So this is gonna raise so much freaking money. And if I were to somehow be the host for this one, I might call out a donation train to get Chimecho as one of the mains. I might abuse my power. That is the games list for AGDQ 2026. That is AGDQ 2026. The schedule. From start to finish. Brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. No, by Saria. One of the hosts who would be fine with being chosen for any of these blocks. But if Saria had to choose a few that they would be especially interested in, Small Saga to Pipistrella would be really cool. Animal Crossing to Sonic Rush would be cool. This was the one that I looked at first and was like, please, 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 this is mine, 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 but I'm deferring this to a friend. So this is kind of like, it's still, I'm pointing it out because it's the amazing NES block and I'm looking forward to it, but probably not going to ask for this one. And then the big one that I'm going to be asking for, which would probably be from either Mika or Spider-Man to FFT. Raid Saria Legends. Small Saga is a fantastic game. If you get it for someone like Zyzy to play on stream, you would. But, and this is a big but, she has a tail. So yeah, I'd say the biggest one I'm going to be asking for up front, and that I might see if I can get CJ's blessing on this at some point. It would be a block where I have FFT in there. And there you have it. Ah. Thank you for screaming, I guess. Oh, it did the thing! Trigger fire, why? That's an interesting freeze. So, this has happened once before, which was very perfect and humorous. At the end of the Dedria redeem, and so Saria literally died. Like that, except it stayed like that forever, which was incredible. But yeah, this time it happened with me in that pose. Oh my goodness. Very cool. So it's been 2 hours, somewhat short stream here, but I think I should probably focus on...
No! Impossible!
I should probably focus on submitting my form where I do end up making those requests. It's been long enough that, like, the adrenaline has fallen down a little bit, so maybe I'm of clearer mind to, like, do that correctly. And I see somebody who was mentioned on this list streaming right now who might be a good target to raid. I haven't raided this person in a while. I'm gonna raid the upcoming runner of Super Metroid in AGDQ 2026, Ryan Ford. Currently doing some SM64, 70 star. Because I wonder if he's going to end up trying to submit some stars to run in the 70 star relay. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you all enjoyed that. It was a good time to look through all of this and sort of order my thoughts. Yeah, it would be incredible. Yes, as Flair said, this is a big ask for them to consider for a first-time host for a slot like this. It is at least, I'm not asking to host the frickin' finale. I'm not asking for that, and even the things I'm asking for, I'm not trying to approach from as a first-time host saying like, I don't want to come off as expecting any of this, and I know I mention it all the time. I just want to be sure that that you know that I know. I'm privileged to be able to ask for anything, and I'm privileged to be given what they give me at all. I'm so honored and grateful to be a host at all. I'm honored to be able to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so excited. And until next time, everybody, dream on, folks. Peace. Take care. Feel free to congratulate Ryan Ford. Have an amazing one.